Howdy partners, this is Ice and C. Remember outsider, I'll hate you for it, and I'm bringing you another 3 versus 3 replay action. It was sent to me by the sexiest of all the Jerrys, Jeku Jerry. I'm sorry, I am so cheesy sometimes. And we're going to be playing, it's going to be basically the same people as last time, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce them anyway. Should you have skipped around, but you shouldn't, because you should be watching everything in order, because that is how everything was intended to be watched. I'm kidding, you can do whatever you feel like. Over here on the blue team is going to be the Orc Warboss, the Fonz. And over here is going to be Jeku Jerry playing the Warp Spider Exarch. He seems to be favoring that one quite lately. And over here, TMD like a boss, the Eldar Warlock. And going to be playing against, here on the red team, is going to be Sicarius. We're going to be calling him Sicarius because that is much easier to say than Sicarius, as the Orc Warboss. And TFC Kalasai is going to be playing Imperial Guard this time. The Imperial Guard Lord General, and Taurus, the Nerglite, going to be playing the Chaos Plague Champion. Did quite well in the last game. I'm excited to see what he does this time. Over here you can see they're going to be playing here on the White Walls of Calderis, and this is a very fun team map, I gotta say. Back whenever I was a, newbie to this game, I definitely enjoyed the larger maps like White Walls of Calderis, Angel's Gate, and everything like that. There's just so much space to play on. It was incredibly fun. He goes for some grenade launch heretics and some melee heretics, keeping those melee heretics out of the range of the Warboss, which is quite a good idea. And you can see that some epic action has already transpired here in the middle of the map. This is one of those maps where it's kind of like you're really afraid to walk up these steps because you know you're going to just be walking into a hail of gunfire, which is why at that point, if they're turtling so hard, you should go around along the sides here. But Taurus, using that Nurgle worship quite well, grenade launch heretics to lock down that power node right here. The Fawn's gonna have to be going up against Taurus again in the 1v1 setting, and TMD like a boss, I'm sorry, and Jeku are going to be charging in against Kalasai and Sicarius once more. Let's see if Sicarius is capable of keeping his units alive a little bit better than last game. No spoilers, but you can see that a Shuriken weapon team has come out onto the field, and this could be very bad engagement for the Eldar player because of that Lord General's grenade launcher. But all of those units blobbing up as badly as they did, taking way too much Shuriken fire, getting suppressed, and those Banshees charging into melee, just doing a ton of damage. So, note for the wise, if you're playing Imperial Guard against Eldar, don't bunch up your units quite so badly. You'll do a lot better that way. Now, over here you can see that Taurus just once again shutting down the Fawns. And we all love them, the Fawns, but when it comes down to this, Taurus has just got him on lockdown. So, and you can see right now the victory points quite even right now, and they will be evening up even better here in just a little bit. And you can see that Stormboy is out here on the field. Not sure why they haven't quite jumped in yet. Yeah, okay, I see. He was waiting for the rest of his army. There's Yuzya Choppas. Unfortunately, oh no. Retreating a bit prematurely. They could have done quite a bit more damage if they kept the color schemes the same, I think. Yes, those were like a boss's Banshees right there, though neither of the Eldar's Banshees are feeling too good right now. And you can see right here that, oh my gosh, the Fawn's losing his Warboss almost losing his Slugga Boys. That Nurgle worship is just a big thorn in his side, almost allowing him to stay out indefinitely into the field and do battle with the orcs without having to retreat back to their base. And they're going to have 2 power nodes of their own, and this could be quite a problem for blue team. And he was saying something about 1 nade and that he had to save the replay. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I think he's talking about dropping a nade into these Shootaboys or something like that. Excellent job. I'm sorry I wasn't there to see it. There was just so many things going on in the field. You could see that this Shuriken weapons team, catching the guardsmen in retreat. Triple guardsmen, not such a good loadout for the Lord General as it is with the Commissar Lord. Commissar Lord has a ton of better abilities for all those infantry blobs, you know. The Inspire Courage, or the Stubbornness, and the what is the other one? The one where if he takes damage, all of the infantry get health back. I can't remember what that one's called. But nonetheless, it could be a much better choice. You can see Red Team here getting their power bashed, but will they be able to really? No. Okay, it doesn't look like it. But these Shootaboys could be overextending themselves quite a bit, and that could be quite a problem. Sicarius doing a much better job keeping his stuff alive this game, though his Warboss did go down. Did lose his Sluggas apparently too, somewhere. And these guardsmen and orcs doing a good enough job keeping their power farms alive, though. This could change here in just a moment. Maybe? Yeah, come on. There's that one little generator. No? Okay. Well, that's fine. Don't listen to me. And again, all these guardsmen blobbing up real badly should definitely spread them out and make them go along different avenues of attack. But Kalisai coming over there, saving those generators at the very last moment, doing an excellent job of that. You can see Red Team now just has a ton of power, a absurd amount of power. They have 3 full gen, well, they did have 3 full gen farms, and then I came and looked over here. That didn't go so well. And you can see that these Shootaboys with their big shooters still don't have their knobs yet. Getting into a gun, what is it? Shootout. Sorry, not a gun shoot out. Whatever. Doing quite a lot of damage. My God, there's just battle everywhere. And you can see that those Burna Boys, otherwise known as Slugga Boys with Burnas and their knob. And you can see that that Plague Champion with his Plague Sword, oh my God, just turning the battle on a dime and making all of those Slugga Boys look like fools. And you can see, he could see the stick bombers out here on the field. And WG, Wraithguard, okay. Yeah. Wraithguard quite good at bashing generators. They're quite good at bashing everything, if you ask me. But yeah, all of these generators and power and everything, Red Team, actually surprisingly the last to finish up into Tier 2, but Guardsmen, I feel like probably don't need to rush into Tier 2 as much as the other races do. I could be wrong. Ethereal Slash down on those Storm Boys, and there goes the whole Storm Boy squad. Definitely overextending them a bit too much. Finally taking my advice and splitting up his units a bit better. Grenade coming down onto the field, misses them in retreat. Slugga Boys with the, oh no, they're going to wipe. Oh, they didn't wipe. got quite lucky with their knob getting them out of there. The only reason that those boys survived. You can see that the Wraith Guard trudging out here into the field, ready to finish bashing those generators and even up the resources. Though I will say that red team has managed to hold on to quite a bit of, the blue team has managed to get a significant VP lead. So a much different story than last game. We'll see if red team can make a good comeback or not. Blood Crusher from Taurus coming out onto the field with those Wraith Guard here. I am very timid to say that's a good idea. However, perhaps he's just using it to keep the Fawns back in his base. And that would probably be a very good idea, but there's going to be the triple cap for the blue team, and that's going to start rapidly draining those victory points from the red team and cause them to start panicking. Sicarius not really able to keep his units alive this game, and that's quite frustrating. Kalisai doing a much better job this game than I think he did last game with his unit choice, though I feel like at this point he shouldn't have gotten that heavy weapons team. Get maybe a... he's getting another heavy weapons team, okay. So it kind of has a thing for those suppression teams, I suppose. That's a single stick bomber. Not going to be able to stop this double suppression team from both Jeku and Like a Boss. But perhaps could do some decent damage. Nope, didn't even get to do decent damage. Just kind of knocked them off their spot. Throwing some stun bombs in, and not bad, not bad. It's managing to stun them. You can see here that this Blood Crusher, that was a bad choice. Easy to get out tank busters for the orcs. Is quite a soft unit when you get right down to it, even though its damage output is incredible. Dropping a plasma grenade, and those heretics wipe. Good grenade from yep, Jeku again. Grenades everywhere. And here's an Autarch drop coming in. You can see that Corn Marines are out on the field, but against all of this ranged fire that the Eldar has, it's not going to carry them very far. I think I just saw the Autarch jump out of the field. It's quite a weird ability. Red team in some real trouble. More than a double victory point lead for the blue team, getting completely outclassed here. The Fawns managing to hold on fairly well despite the fact that Taurus was ripping him a new one fairly hard this entire game. Going to lose some Burna Boys if he's not careful. That Knob, he's the biggest of the survivors because he's the only survivor of that group. Didn't take enough damage from the Noxious Cloud, definitely keeping it alive. Breaking out another Blood Crusher, and I just don't feel like that's a good idea. All the anti-vehicle on the field, just turn it into mush. And you could see that Sicarius trying to make a strong push by lobbing those grenades at those setup teams. And Jeku is saying, how do they always find my gates? I can understand that frustration if I was trying to hide something as a Space Marine. Not that I could. I'd be quite frustrated if they found it all the time too. Managing to capture this, and hopefully he'll be able to hold on to it. War Boss with the trophy rack and the power claw, going to be easily able to, you know, tell this blood crusher to frack off if he could only catch up to it. And here comes the tank bustos. This is going to be a quite short fight with that blood crusher. And there it goes. Also power melee boys going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage to him. There's a plague grenade in the middle of all of those boys. It does a damage as well as a damage over time. Just real good if the squad has quite a lot of models. Though not quite good enough to wipe them, unfortunately. You can see right here now that there is a possible, no, not a triple, but a double, 2-to-1, and gets a surround on all of those boys. A retreat grenade in the path, a bit premature, though it's quite difficult to judge the distance on those guys. Sometimes they actually stop and then continue running. And you can see right here that these setup teams are going to get absolutely owned if they don't get, yep, they got owned. Wraithguard and everything else firing into the building. Easily able to take those out. That's why I really don't feel like you need that Kalasai needed to get those heavy weapons teams like he did. Can't suppress Wraithguard, and can't really do that much damage to them either. They're quite solid units. And you can see right here that the Knobs, Popping Frenzy, and Yuja Chappas trying to come in here and kill everything, though if they'll be able to actually do so remains to be seen. Ethereal Slash on those guardsmen, point blank range, going to gib a ton of guardsmen, doesn't get the kill on all, or well, a squad wipe. You can see the sergeant and like one other guy running with him. And there we are back to a double cap for blue team. Taurus having taken some horrible losses due to 2 versus 1. And an Avatar is inbound for Like a Boss. Jeku's gates getting caught once again. He says it's the 4th gate and they haven't used detectors to find them. You can see that the units starting to come back out here into the field. Loading up, getting ready to fight. Some stick bombs coming out of the sky. That orc had a natural throw-in arm. And they returned the grenade throw right back. Those orcs smart enough to get out of the way first. Even more stick bombs coming towards those guardsmen. They were stun bombs, and there goes the missile barrage. Didn't do enough damage. And a throw of grenades everywhere. Avatar here out on the field, and you can see the stasis on those orcs to keep them in place and prevent them from retreating and or popping frenzy and attacking. You can see the Avatar of Cain. He is pissed. He's out here on the field, sync killing everything. More stick bombs. Oh god, plague grenade. Stick bombs everywhere. So much crap going on right now, it's lagging my screen up. I can't commentate all of this because that is insane. And there's creeping barrage from the Lord General Kalasai. You could see the Avatar just kind of happy and strolling along with his pretty hair, stabbing, looking, doesn't care, going to just keep killing. Double Plague Marines again for Taurus. He really loves these guys. Of course he does. He uses the Plague Champion. And there's a Wrath of Cain, suppressing and knocking back any targets within like almost melee range. Finally, Taurus paying enough attention to get those guys away from the Avatar. What's going on over here? A Manicore out on the field for Kalasai. That is a excellent choice. Definitely should have gotten that much earlier instead of purchasing those heavy weapons teams. Why doesn't anybody listen to me when they are playing this game? Especially if it's in the past. No excuses. And another Blood Crusher out here on the field for Taurus. I feel like these keep being a point sink for him. Those Plague Marines are going to get absolutely owned. Avatar hadn't taken a lot of damage, which is surprising, with as much support as it's been getting. Knobs running in, popping Frenzy, and a crack grenade? What was that? Oh no, it's a Melt-A-Bomb. And the game is over. Red team really not paying attention to their victory points, and even if they had, really not able to hold on to them at all because of how badly contested their this middle spot was the entire game. Not getting enough anti-suppression and not getting enough of the right units. Sicarius constantly losing units. His War Boss, his Slugger Boys, Stick Bombers, stuff like that. Charging in his bloody knobs as if they were invincible. Just kind of frustrates me a little, I suppose. The Fawns, though, really eating it this whole game, trying his best to go and take out Taurus, but Taurus just really, really knowing how to utilize that Nurgle worship and all of his units quite effectively. Perhaps could have benefited the Fawns if he had got maybe more Shudas or a Luda team. And double avatars, this game was definitely over. But both Jeku and Like a Boss using great team tactics, I feel like, though kind of ignoring the Fawns throughout this entire game. Definitely would have done a lot better if they could have assisted him in any way. Not saying they didn't, but they could have assisted him much sooner. And over here, just Kalasai, just choosing the wrong units. I get the Katachans, that makes sense, but could have definitely benefited from a Sentinel team. Or no, I'm just a Sentinel. A Sentinel. Keep those Banshees away from his Guardsmen and his Lord General. And definitely didn't need to get triple weapons teams, or heavy weapons teams. Should have just gone for the Manicore, or maybe even some Ogrins or something like that. But yeah, and then Sicarius just kind of fumbling around. But anyway, this was an awesome game. I'm sorry if I missed a couple of things here and there. Taurus, all of the best luck to you, man. You played excellent. I liked the way you showed, if any of you have trouble playing Chaos or something, he is one player to pay attention to. If you're having trouble playing Eldar, Jeku and Like a Boss had a very, very good strategy going on, choosing warp spiders, wraith guard, and then eventually pulling out the avatar for the finisher. And also going double banshees. Quite good if you get them in high enough numbers. But yeah. If you like the video, go ahead and leave a like. If there's something you'd like to ask, where have I been? What have I been doing? Or what the heck were you talking about in that game? You're stupid. I don't like what you said. Go ahead and leave that comment down below. I'd love to talk to you guys. And if you love the video and you'd like to see more, there will be plenty more coming in the future. This does not mean that if you don't subscribe, I'm not going to put out more videos. I am going to put out more videos regardless. But if you would like to see more videos in the future, just to keep up with me or something, go ahead and subscribe. There will be plenty more in the future to come. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. This is I Sincere, remember outside or I'll hate you for it. Catch you partners later.